It's a competition clinching shot. Whoa! How about that?
The LET Golf Podcast, the official podcast of the Ladies European Tour.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the LET Golf Podcast. I'm George Cooper, coming to you from the beautiful Walton Heath here on AIG Women's Open Week, and we have a treat for you today with the 2018 champion Georgia Hall joining us shortly to discuss everything from that famous win 5 years ago to the upcoming Solheim Cup in Spain. Before we do, just a quick roundup of everything that's been happening on the Ladies European Tour coming into the final major of the year, and what a couple of weeks it's been for Solheim Boutier. Solheim made history at the Amundi Evian Championship last month when she became the first French woman to win the event as a major, winning her maiden major in the process by a dominant 6 shots in France. And if that wasn't enough, Boutier only went and made it back-to-back wins a week later at the 3D Group Women's Scottish Open, seeing off a star-studded lineup to clinch her 5th LET title, moving to the top of the race to Costa del Sol in the process, and moving to 3rd in the women's Rolex World Rankings. A ridiculously impressive 2 weeks of Boutier, who now rightfully comes into the AIG Women's Open at Walton Heath as the favourite here in England. Right, let's get our guest on then, and who better to have on the week of the AIG Women's Open than 2018 champion Georgia Hall. Me and Nicola had the chance to chat to Georgia at Centurion a few weeks ago when she was the team captain and was victorious at ATS London. So without further ado, this is Georgia Hall on the LET Golf Podcast. Georgia, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
We're good. We're enjoying the lovely British summer here.
Yes, it is lovely. I'm very happy to be back home and excited for the week.
Yeah, let's get straight to it then. Back in England, obviously we know you spend a lot of time over in America on the LPGA. First things first, what's it like to be back, and what's the thing you miss the most about England?
I miss a lot, for sure, and I had a really nice off week last week, and it's nice to be home in my own bed, which I don't get a lot nowadays, so... and also to have this AIG Open only an hour and a half away from where I live is really special, and it's only it's probably the closest Open that there'll ever be to where I live, so to have family and friends up supporting this week means a lot.
Yeah, and how much do you think that will suit you, but A, with the home support, and B, with the actual course itself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not a typical links course, but I think it is extremely pretty. It will look great on TV as well, and I think it'll be tough. I'm sure they'll do it tough. So I know what the RNA is like, and that's how majors should be. And I thrive, and I love tough conditions. So yeah, I think it'll play quite firm actually, like a links course. But like I said, I think we'll get big crowds, so I'm excited to see them and hopefully get a lot of support and fans out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's just touch on your game then. I know slightly disappointing with the last 2 majors, but before that, I mean, you've been in really, really good form, getting back into the top 10 of the Rolex rankings. I know briefly, but you're still, hovering around there. 2 second place finishes. Just tell us how you're feeling in terms of your game. Yeah,
I've been in contention a handful of times this year, and obviously a really good start. Missed a couple of cuts for sure, but I think, that definitely is just golf, and these things happen, and I feel I'm hitting it really well actually, and this is my favourite event of the whole year and always is. It's a busy week for me, so I just got to preserve my energy, but just really happy to be playing in England and be at home.
Absolutely.
And going back to the start of your golfing journey, how old were you when you first picked a club, and are you from your golf mad family?
Actually, my dad played a bit of golf before I was born, so that's how I got into it, and he took me to the local driving range. But I started taking up the game when I was 7 years old, and I just tried to make contact with the ball, which is actually quite hard at first, but I can't believe 20 years I've been playing golf. I feel very old.
Not at all, you're younger than me, so you're good. And is it true that you were named Georgia because of Augusta? And
I was actually 3 weeks early being born, and so it happened to be born I think on the Friday or Saturday of the Masters. So they just really like the name. My dad always obviously watched that major, and Nick Faldo won the year I was born at Augusta, Georgia, and he has a daughter called Georgia as well, so it kind of fitted well, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just very strange how I end up playing golf. But
everything just worked out.
Yeah.
And when was the point when you, obviously you said at the beginning, it's hard to make contact with the ball and getting your hand-eye coordination. But when was the point when you realised you loved golf and you just absolutely wanted to do golf all the time?
I think when I was 10 years old, I knocked down 26 shots off my handicap. I started at 36, and then I joined like the England Southwest team, and I just met a lot of players, a lot of other golfers from different backgrounds, and thought that wow, I really enjoy competing, so I want to try and be professional at this when I'm older.
Yeah, and then what was that journey to get onto the LET from kind of going, as you say, through the England setup and different things, and then turning professional and coming onto it?
LET is like my home for sure, and it's where I started and played 3 years there. I went to tour school and came second there, so it gave me an automatic card, very strong kind of position, and lucky enough to win 2 Order Merits out of 3 years, and that was just awesome. And to win Players Player of the Year meant a lot to all the other, like from all the other girls. And I just love the tour. I love like the people that work on the tour. They're very friendly. Every time I come back to play. And I mean, the courses are great, and mostly in Europe, which I love, and it's only a short flight.
I was going to say, what was it like when you first came on tour, and like how many friends did you have? Obviously, how many people did you know who were around you?
I knew quite a few, to be honest, and from growing up and amateur days. But it is very different being professional. It's kind of like a bit more nerve-wracking, I think, because you're playing to kind of live a bit more. Mm-hmm. But you do get to see some amazing places and, you know, visit some great countries for sure.
And as you say, you won the Order of Merit twice in those 3 years, and then obviously decided to go over to the States. So what was that decision making like, taking that leap? I
think I wanted to wait until I kind of done really well in LET before moving, because I know that LPGA is tougher. So I wanted to first win and win the Order of Merit before trying. So then I thought, okay, I'm 21 now. Yeah, 21. I'm going to try. So I went to tour school there and finished 7th. So, and I've been on there since. But I make sure I play 3-4 LET events a year, and I really enjoy them. It's a great kind of atmosphere, and it's great to come back to the similar courses.
Yeah. And is there anyone in particular that when you come back you're always like happy to see in the LET?
I think like Lauren Taylor, we were really, really close for about 7-8 years, and when I moved to the LPGA and she kind of lost her card here, we hardly saw each other, so every time I'm back I like to kind of reconnect with her, and she's a good friend of mine, so I think especially Lauren. Yeah,
nice. And let's move on then to the AIG Women's Open, obviously what we're here to talk about. Let's go back. I know you're probably never tired of talking about it because it was first major, obviously, 2018. First of all, just tell us, what is it that makes the event so special to you?
I think playing on iconic golf courses, it's just like, it's amazing every year. And they put on a great tournament for us. We get looked after really well, obviously helped run by the RNA. And I just love seeing the crowds and home fans, so that means a lot to me. And like little things, drive my own car up to the event, and it's a home event, and I feel really supported and confident every time I play.
Yeah, definitely. And then going back to your win, I mean, that week in particular, how did you feel going in? Did you feel like you could go and win? And then obviously as the tournament developed and you were obviously contending at the top, just talk us through your emotions that week.
Yeah, I played Scottish week before at Gullen, and I loved the area. And I played okay. I finished like 25th, but I played that pretty good. So I was like quite confident going in, and I never saw Lytham before, first time, and I thought, wow, this is very tough. I mean, so many bunkers everywhere. But then I had a good tee time, and it wasn't that windy. Had a great group as well. I played with Aria Chitanagan and Inji Chun. So that was cool, and I just got off to a good start. I hit it to like a foot on the first hole, which is par 3, and I think I finished 4 under or something for the first day, and bogey free. So it kind of went from there really, and I got a momentum, and crowds kept coming, and I just really loved like the experience in general.
And what really struck me is the final day, how calm you looked. I mean, I don't know if you felt as calm.
When I first teed off, I was a little bit nervous. And on 18, like on the tee shot, I was quite nervous. It was a sigh of relief when it went on the green for 2, and I had like 4 putts to win or something. So that's always lovely. And 18 there is actually a very tough hole, so it's not really the ideal hole, but it's fantastic golf course. And I was calm for a lot of it. I just was trying to make the most of that opportunity because I didn't know when I would get that again. And obviously it means so much to me, it being the British Open.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned 18 because our photographer Tristan, who you know well, he always loves to tell the story about how when you were walking down 18 and you were talking to him and you were just chatting about dinner apparently, and that you wanted fish and chips or something. So tell us your side of that.
Oh, I love Tristan. I went to his wedding and we're very close. But yeah, little things amuse me, and like they mean a lot. So I was hungry, but I ended up having a roast dinner, which is even better.
Very British day then.
Yeah, very.
And final one from me then, in the Open, before we move on to other stuff. Obviously all the benefits that came with winning that major were huge. One in particular last year, obviously at the Old Course, you're getting to play with the past winners, Tiger, Rory. First of all, just tell us about how special that was.
Yeah, I mean, when I won it, it didn't really... I didn't know what else it would bring me at all. I just thought I've won the major. I didn't know that, like, getting the MBE, getting to play with Tiger, lots of things really. So yeah, it meant a lot. And I didn't even think about the money when I won either. But obviously it's increased so much since I won. It's unbelievable, which is great. But yeah, it's just incredible to have that to my name and a major champion. And when people ask me, what one would I choose, and I'd still choose to win another one, not a new one. I would always like to win the AIG Open. Yeah,
of course, makes sense.
Yeah.
And the fact that you get to do it in the UK consistently, obviously,
helps
with that.
It's a lot of fun, and I don't get to play here a lot, so even the Aramco at Centurion is just lovely, and I get to, have my friends and family there.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't have you on without touching on Solheim Cup.
Yeah.
Coming up soon in Finca. But obviously you've played in couple, winning as well.
Yes.
What was that like getting picked in Solheim for the first time and playing?
Yeah. Well, I actually qualified number 1 on the LET points. So that was really important to me to feel that I deserved to be there. And representing Europe, you can't really ask for any better, and I just such a proud moment for me, and to be part of a team. I'm not used to it. It's very individual sport, golf, so to have breakfast, lunch and dinner with the whole team every day was really fun. We had a lot of laughs.
And can't talk to you without talking about 19 and playing with Celine. And you're still undefeated as a pairing. What was that like when Beanie put you two together? I know you've spoken before about the fact you've got similar golf personalities and you get on so well anyway.
Yeah. I was actually very surprised, to be honest, because I didn't know Celine at all, really. When Beanie said I'll be paired with her, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit... We'll see how that goes. And then we started playing together and we really gelled, and we got on really well, got to know each other better. She is a fantastic player. I really think very highly of her. I think she's actually quite underrated. Mm-hmm. I think it's because of her quiet personality that she just goes a bit quiet under the radar, but I think she for sure is like one of the best players that I've seen, and I feel very lucky to be her partner in Solheim, and she makes my job a little bit easier. But I obviously hope to be with her again, and I think she the same, because I've seen a lot of her recently, and I hope we definitely don't get defeated, because that'd be a sad day, as it's been like 5 years. So
yeah. I was going to say, what was it like last time out? Obviously I was in America with you and we had nobody there. How different was that to obviously Glen Eagles, where we had the crowds roaring and a lot of people?
Extremely different. I mean, I loved having all that support at Glen Eagles, but then to have no one on our side really was very weird, but it made the win even better, I think. So I know we won't get that again. We'll have loads of support in Spain, and I just look forward. I know Spanish crowds and fans are very enthusiastic, so
yeah. And obviously we'll be playing under Suzanne this time. I know you've just exchanged some messages, but what do you think she's going to be like potentially as a captain?
I think she's going to be very fierce for sure. I think she'll be a great captain. Yeah, I mean obviously she's been a fantastic player and knows her stuff very well, and she knows all of us already. So I think we have a very strong team. Yeah.
And have you spoken about, I know you don't want to reveal too much, but have you had a chance to speak about partnerships yet? I know we chatted to Charlie and she's like, I want to play with Georgia. Is it reciprocal? Or, is it reciprocal or is there anyone in particular you want to play with?
That's really nice. Me and Charlie are like best friends, and I think the world of Charlie, and she's so funny without even trying to be. So we'll have a lot of fun on the golf course. I think I would like to play with Charlie in four ball. Me and Celine are mostly foursome partners. We played in four ball both times and won, but I think foursomes you have to have a very specific partner. And me and Celine have been great with that. And four balls is your own ball, so it's not as crucial, I don't think. So in terms of people that know each other the best, I don't think there's anyone closer than me and Charlie. So I think that'd be a great option for Suzanne anyway. I'm not too picky with like who I play with, but I mean obviously Charlie would be right up there for sure. And obviously I think she's a fantastic player as well, and a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean I would probably choose Charlie for the four ball side of things. So I think that'd be good.
And equally, who are you excited to play against? Or is there a player you want to play against and beat?
Whoever's the best in the American side. I'm not like afraid of anything like that. I mean, I remember last time, so my singles matches I've played obviously 3 Solheims, and I played Paul de Creamer, Lexi Thompson and Nelly. So I've had like very high names, and I remember they read out on the bus 2 years ago the pairings, and they said Nelly, and I was like, yes, like that's who I want. I want like the best player, because I think it's like such a battle, and I'm not like afraid of like losing. If I lose, I lose, but I want to give it like the best. So yeah, I'm happy to do it with whoever.
And moving off the golf course, what do you like to do when you're not playing golf? When you get a week at home and you're able to go out and do whatever you want, what do you do?
Go for like a nice breakfast and sit at home. I'm quite boring, but I don't really get a lot of time for it, like even just to do nothing nowadays. I love like sitting on the sofa and watching Netflix, like watching this series. I just finished Big Little Lies, so that's awesome. And I just watched Lewis Capaldi on Netflix. That is so, it's like sad, but it's like the reality of what people go through for their job and anxiety, and I think that's really important. And I think I would recommend that for people to watch, because it's really like insightful. But yeah, I'm going off topic. But yeah, I think it's good, and I like just relaxing as much as I can and switching off.
I've heard you say that sometimes you just sit on your grass. In your garden.
Sometimes, I know. If I've been in America too long, I like just to go outside in the garden and lay there. And I'm like, only for like a minute. I'm not a weirdo, but I lay there just for a minute and I'm like, this is England. I look at this England sky. I'm really sad, but yeah. I don't know.
Good stuff then. And we'll have final question then to wrap it up. What is your if we're talking the rest of the year, what is your just ultimate goal? I know we've got a huge tournament this week, AIG Women's Open, and we've got the Solheim Cup, but just, the ideal year for Georgia Hall, what would it look like?
That's a great question.
And actually, it doesn't have to be golf, it could be anything.
Really? I would like to, I'm going to say 2.
Mm-hmm.
I would say finish the year. I mean, obviously I've been top 10 for like a few months now, and I'm just outside it now, but just to finish the year top 10, or because it's very hard, it moves a lot, and obviously they're fantastic players, so I like to get one win and then finish the year as far low as possible, but top 10, that would be good. But I think win would be number 1, a win on anywhere. Yeah.
And a hat-trick of Solheims, honestly.
And I would like to be in contention at AIG. Obviously everyone wants to win it, but just have a strong event there, just because it means a lot to me. But I not putting too much on myself. Just, I just want the people that come to watch like a home favourite. Yeah.
Well, wish you best of luck this week, Georgia, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a competition clinching shot. Whoa! How about that?
the LET Golf Podcast, the official podcast of the Ladies European Tour.